Never did it. Never did it. Made a good decision. Never make another one.
Yeah. Okay, this is the promo.
Yes, it is. But I don't want to see it. I want to see you. Okay. You ready? You can still see it?
Yep, we can see it.
Sweet.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Can't see it.
That's a 2020 campaign.
Come here. Give me a hug, okay? I know. It's tough out there. I know. Facebook really does suck you in. I know. Okay? You good? Mwah. Love you, okay? It's not Jewish space lasers.
If you have a small penis, as a general rule, you want to go for any position that facilitates deep penetration so that you can utilize the entire length of your shaft, says Rich.
Need a fucking pen.
I need a fucking
This
pen.
country is a cesspool. Blood and guts and cum just running in the streets. They look up to me and say, "Save our country." And I say, "No." I say, "Fuck off." Sure you can, because you'll support him and because you're a fanboy. No, I'm gonna support him because I want to fuck him.
Hey.
There we are. Tiptoe through the tulips and the garden. Oh.
There you go.
Wow,
That's
we really see the evolution of my stream setup.
Yeah, the reason why is because a lot of those were my clips. Because I think there's that one in here. Where is it? I don't even remember which one it is, but you can see in one of them that oh yeah, it's this one.
Guts and cum.
And the like full like uncropped version of this one, you can see I think you're at like 113 subs out of whatever your goal was, like maybe 150 or something like that.
Yeah, that was probably like March of 2021.
Okay, so it's been a little over 2 years since that clip came out.
Yeah, we're coming up on 3 years of streaming.
And how do you feel about it? I mean, you finally got partner. That shit that's a whole saga that we all know about and get very irritated about thinking about it. But I mean, maybe it's something we don't have to be as irritated about now, since they finally gave you what you've deserved for so long. I mean, I'm sure you've talked about it extensively, but
yeah, I think they hired some new person or moved somebody new into like the partner applications department.
Mm-hmm.
Because right after I got it, they gave Tofu one. Right after TwitchCon, Doodleburb got partnered.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still plenty of people who are like qualified for partner and deserve partner, like Sean Black, yourself.
I'm not
Jim
qualified
Marianne.
for it, definitely, but
wait, no way. Like,
if you are qualified, like statistically qualified, like, and they don't give it to you, especially after multiple iterations, and you bent over backwards for it. Like, I mean, they were telling you, giving you excuses that you would then go and, follow. I mean, we all know. I'm preaching to the choir on that one, obviously.
right.
Like incorporating gaming. I guess I would have a question about that, which would be that, like, in that process of trying to sort of diversify your content, in an effort to meet, their demands, do you feel like you gained anything out of that you might not have otherwise, as part of that process? Or
I mean,
were there silver linings, maybe, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, so like throughout the year, because it literally took a year of applying for partner, I definitely tried to do more like content outside of my normal schedule and try to do like more interactions with people. But it was the final push that I did in August, this most recent August, where it was like longer streams and more gaming content, but I don't think at the end of the day that changed anything. I think it was literally just numbers.
In terms of their decision to approve you.
Yeah, I think it was literally just metrics.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah, and covering my fuck off sign. I think that might have had something to do with it. 'Cause I like took George Orwell's 1984 and put it in front of my sign, so it was technically censored.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if that's always on stream, then do you think it could be read? Do you think it could be read like as a like if something was scanning the picture, would they be able to actually read the letters in it? Do you think?
Maybe,
The reason I
maybe.
ask is because like I remember searching for something once that was in text and something I was like writing, and like I think somebody sent it to me, but they said, "Oh, it came up." Like I was able to find that VOD or something like that because Google or Bing had like scanned the actual like image from the stream, the thumbnail maybe, and so
Hmm.
like you were able to find it based on the text that it was written in like a document on my screen, because it was a very specific name is what it was.
Huh?
So
Maybe. I'm
it
thinking
happened.
about replacing it. I want to get something else right there. I'm doing less of like the LGBT CIA lights in the background. We're doing more like warm lighting now. I'm thinking about replacing the fuck off sign with something else. So who
LGBT
knows?
CIA.
Yes,
And you have
LGBT CIA lights.
and then you can switch to the like interrogation, like where you actually like rip your key light off and like put it right in front of the camera, shine it on
Yeah,
them,
exactly.
blind them.
Yeah, want to make them
Um,
feel like they're in a hostile environment.
exactly. You gotta discombobulate them is the word that we like to use. You know, like
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes, box the ears type
yeah,
shit.
it's a good word.
Throw a napkin in their face or something. I can't remember exactly.
Discombobulate. Then go for the groin.
So I guess since you've been partnered, like it seems like your streams remain the same. Like you continue to do the
Mhm.
base content that you do, and like it seems like you continue to see growth as well. So I mean, congrats on the partner finally. And I guess if you have any other reflections on that, we can get to it. But otherwise, what we have sort of planned for you, I guess, was a tarot reading. Is that right?
Oh, let's go.
Okay. Well, Zach is the tarot expert, but I've been doing tarot readings for a while. Zach has disappeared, but
Okay.
he's taking a little bit of a break. I kind of was planning on doing it anyways, but I might ask the guru for some clarification at some point.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself to my chat for anybody who doesn't know you?
Yeah. So I'm LEVLHEAD. I'm a journalist in Colorado, Northwest Colorado. I work for a small independent community newspaper, and by independent, I guess what I would clarify that as like a lot of newspapers, even including ones in your local area, are probably owned by like a larger conglomerate. So this is something that you should generally be familiar with if you're um, familiar with capitalism in general. But I like to say that newspapers kind of like usually, especially small ones, are where you can find a lot of the best reporting as
Hmm.
opposed to like TV and broadcast news. Um, but like, so regardless of whether yours is independently owned or not, it's important to know that like a lot of newspapers have been bought up by these larger conglomerates. So for a long time in Colorado and the region, we had Swift, and Swift owned all of these newspapers. We call them Swifties. Recently, Swift's newspapers have been bought by an even larger conglomerate. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's actually based in Louisiana, or that's where they own other newspapers or something like that. The newspaper that I work for in Rio Blanco County, which is the Rio Blanco Herald Times, um, and more recently just the Herald Times, because we can't cover the whole county. That could get to why I'm doing this whole stream right now. Um, you know, it's family owned. My mom and my sister are actually the owners. So
Okay.
it's it's a woman owned business, I guess. Like I had the opportunity to be an owner, but I declined that because that's also a commitment to like keeping the business running, which is very difficult to do in a newspaper, in the newspaper industry. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's been around for 138 years. I think my mom and sister bought it like owner financed from the previous owner, like 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. And when they arrived, and I came shortly after because I had been doing radio news reporting at a public radio station. When they arrived, the person who had been sort of the editor in the interim was slacking off. They weren't doing their job. They weren't like going to public events. They weren't reporting on the county commissioners. They weren't reporting on the town council. And this is like your baseline shit that you got to do if you're a journalist, and if you're a newspaper outlet. And what we found is in that short period of time, year or two, the amount of things that took place like outside of public scrutiny was, I mean, we're still seeing repercussions of it to this day, and like still trying to pick apart the pieces in terms of which things they left, what they left behind, and what the fallout was. So yeah, that's kind of like what I do for a living. And on stream I discuss the process of reporting. I've often shown myself like through the entire process of investigative journalism, of an investigative reporting piece. Like, I think that it's not always super interesting, except for when it really gets interesting, like which occasionally does happen on stream, when we get to finally interview the guy we've been like, we've been like preparing all these questions for, and collecting evidence on. And then it's also really a variety stream though, because we do music. We've been doing freestyle rap all day, beats. I play drums, so I show my band quite often. And all kinds of other stuff. But I also have done plenty of the same types of content as you, but I don't have time to prepare for it usually. I'm like doing another job. I have 2 kids, but basically what I'm trying to do right now is transition to like having more time to do stream. I'm still reporting. I'm still doing news as a freelance journalist. And, in the meantime, I'm trying to get a little bit of buffer to like be able to work more on, on stream, preparing content and stuff like that. Doing interviews, doing panels, blah, 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 blah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could go on forever about it, but I think that like, the gist of it, and the reason I started talking about the newspaper is like, the newspaper almost ran out of money. Like the newspaper almost just went out of business after 138 years. And I was given the opportunity to either like stop doing what I'm good at and what I've like sort of specialized in for years now, which is investigative journalism, and kind of go back to like a lot more grunt work at the newspaper, just to like, get paid for that, have other people get laid off. And I decided I would rather do freelance, get paid less, and take this opportunity to like pursue more streaming and content creation. So that's what I'm kind of doing with my stream today. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So I know that was a lot of words.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm a words person, so.
No, I mean, you work in the line of words, so.
And oftentimes my biggest challenge is, as a journalist, is getting down to less words. That's what you have an editor for.
Trying to just know the words I'm going to say, right?
Right.
I get jumbled up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about writing for print is like you can just sit there and be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks though when you have the time to write something, and you just then you're still can't. Your brain's still not thinking of words.
Yeah.
It's almost like I need this Vyvanse.
For a period of time, I was submitting like a lot of like op-eds to my local paper, and like trying to do letters to the editor, and only like 3 of them ever went through.
Somebody like you was submitting op-eds. I'd be like, thank God. What were you writing op-eds about?
I wrote some about Cancer Alley, BLM in 2020, and like what it meant to Louisiana, and the like an op-ed on the fundamental shift in politics that's needed in Louisiana, because we're still very much like a lost cause Confederate state.
Yeah, fucking. Sorry, I don't mean to like change subjects, but thank you, Redolent Thought, for 10 gifted subs. Actually,
you're good.
They just witnessed the first time that like alert has been used, because for the longest time I've just been it would just play the same alert 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
So now it plays from Blades of Glory. The Sex Demon and Sex Fiend, Redolent Thought, gifted 10 subs. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever receive any backlash? Like, or did you ever get people? I don't know if I'm assuming you weren't writing under a pen name, or were you?
I've always like I operate under a pseudonym right now,
Okay.
and I've always submitted under the same one.
Okay. Interesting. Has anybody like? Do people respond? You're talking about op-eds though, not like letters to the editor.
The letters to the editor never like got posted. They never like accepted them, and I never even got a response from them. But the like one op-ed that actually made it through, which was the Cancer Alley one, that one only got brief communications from. It was for the Advocate in Louisiana, and I only had like brief communications with the op-ed director, and it was like, hey, there's like some things in here that are like you need to shift around because like the organization of my, I guess, piece was not super good because I'm not a writer. I was just like seeing if I could get one of these things posted. So it was mostly just like editorializing, and it wasn't like super strict or anything.
It's interesting because we publish a lot of stuff in ours, and like we call it a community newspaper. Like, there's a lot of content from the community being submitted all the time, and oftentimes we're just trying to fill pages. So yeah, I don't know, like they're probably being picky. I bet your writing is pretty decent. Like, if they're being really picky about it, maybe it's a larger newspaper or something. I don't know. We don't even have an op-ed director. We just have like
It's a pretty
editor,
big newspaper.
reporter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a published
That makes
author.
sense.
Many people don't know this.
Now they do, except
Yeah.
they don't, and they can't know where and who.
Yeah, they'll never find it. They'll never find it. They'll never know about it.
The Cancer Alley one, I mean, like, just that subject in general, I find to be an important and meaningful one to me. I guess, like, I live in Colorado, Northwest Colorado, in the Piceance Basin, so there's a ton of fracking here, and I guess the biggest report that I've ever done was on fracking waste contamination and spills of like toxic byproduct or wastewater from fracking, which is, it's widespread. It's massive. I mean, like, if you look up earthquakes caused by fracking, you'll find out, if you study it a little bit, you'll find out that earthquakes caused by fracking are caused when they dispose of the wastewater by injecting it into old wells. And there's a place that I actually have to drive to pick up the newspapers when I'm doing the paper route. It's called Paradox Valley near Montrose, and that is where, like, just hundreds of earthquakes have occurred. It's actually, kind of like the poster child sort of area for like where earthquakes can take place as a result of injection. And granted, most of them are low, low on the Richter scale or whatever you would say.
Yeah.
But
I just
yeah,
got
it's
10
bad.
gift sales from Redolent Thought too. Holy shit.
Damn.
Damn.
Redolent Thought is a really cool streamer. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've checked out their stuff yet, but
They just read into me recently, so I'm a recent follower.
nice. Yeah, they just have like your super intense, production ability that is really cool. And hopefully we'll be hosting panels and stuff as well.
Oh! Woke Sky, thank you for the 3. You guys just unlocked a new emote. Let's go.
Hey, yo, you
Go.
get a new emote. So do you already know what it's going to be, or are you like...
Yeah,
gonna
it's
plan
on my
it?
stream right now. What I've been doing lately since I made partner, I've been really lazy about getting everybody new emotes. So I've just like every day our sub goal is like, we're gonna unlock this emote, and I'll put it in the corner of my stream, and like that's
Oh, right.
their little incentive to help out.
So you went from like how many emote slots to how many? You
I
just
think
got a
you-
lot more, right?
I think you have like 10 or 11 standard tier 1 emotes when you start, and now I have 30 open slots
Damn.
for regular, 5 for animated, 5 for tier 1 and tier 2, and you get some more bit reward emotes.
Big Room told me to ask you about your origin of going from ROTC Chud to Kami. The reason that actually does interest me is because I'm from a rural area, rural community, and my dad was a pastor, so I was raised like fundamentalist, evangelical, prosperity gospel. I mean, literally, like, if you were to take the probably most like potent political fucking dynamic or whatever right wing influence, I would say that's having an influence on like things like transgender issues, library fucking books, that kind of shit. I would say it comes almost directly from the sect of Christianity that I was involved in. So I've gone from that to being not that at all, like complete opposite. And we often do sort of like deconstruction content or Christian deconstruction content on my stream. So that does interest me from that perspective. I guess like ROTC is like early military, like army, like pre-graduation from high school stuff, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's so ROTC is like Reserve Officers Training Corps, but it's I did it in high school. I was also in what's called the Naval Sea Cadet Corps, which is kind of like ROTC, but you do it like one weekend a month. Like Saturday and Sunday, you go meet with like the local chapter. You do like trainings, and during the summers or winter break, you'll go to like training camps all over the country or sometimes internationally. And that was my thing that I did. I started when I was like 13 or 14, I think.
How did you get started in it? Like, family?
I was a military weeb,
Okay.
and
Did
I
you
was
have family
really
in the military?
both of my grandfathers were one was in the Army, one was in the Air Force, but they weren't like, you know how some military families, like it's a whole aspect of like their existence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that wasn't our family. Like, I didn't even know that my grandfather was in the military until I started like showing an interest in it.
Huh.
And
Did
yeah,
they,
it just
did they get deployed anywhere? Were they like working back at home or anything like it?
my grandfather on my dad's side, my adopted dad's side, he was in Korea,
Okay.
and my grandfather on my mom's side, too young for Korea, too old for Vietnam. That's kind of like where he fell.
Right.
So he never like went anywhere. He was never deployed. He was a just like he was in the it might have been Army National Guard. I can't remember though. He was mostly like a union guy. Like he was part of the Teamsters, which I only found out recently. In the area for a construction company, and then started working as a lineman. He put in all the original like phone lines in the parish that I live in Louisiana.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it
Is
was
that how you got that job that you had before? Or is that just a coincidence? Like, where you-
that was a coincidence.
Okay.
I just knew somebody that was working there, but whenever I like went to my interview, I told them, I was like, yeah, I actually, like, you know, my grandfather started working in this company. I had like a paperweight that my grandmother gave me that was like his like 30 years with the company.
Okay.
And like I like brought with me. I was like, yeah, I actually like have this in
You're
my
like,
grandfather.
fuck a resume. Bam.
Yeah,
Hire
that's
me.
my resume. Nepotism.
Yep.
So yeah, it was my family never like pressured me into it. I was just a big nerd. I was very much on that like r/atheist libertarian reactionary pipeline when I was younger,
Okay.
and that almost led me down straight up the like becoming a Nazi. And I was
Oh
like,
my god.
every day I would come home and I would turn on the History Channel and I would watch Mail Call with R. Lee Ermey. There's a picture
Thank you so much
that I have
for the $20.
of me when I met R. Lee Ermey and this is extremely K-Kona behavior I'm about to expose myself to. When the Cabela's sporting goods store opened up in my town, or in my hometown rather, R. Lee Ermey was there, and I brought him a watermelon to sign. Like, I was a nerd. I was a fanboy. And
Awesome.
yeah, so like my mom found out about the Sea Cadets when I was like 14, and she was like, well, there's this thing. Do you want to try it out? And I ended up
trying to
doing it
support
until I was
you.
like, yeah, she was like trying to support me, and I ended up doing it
Yeah.
until I was 18. Got into high school, got into ROTC, so I was doing both of these things. I was a big nerd. I mean, I honestly should have gotten a call from my principal when I was in 8th grade because I had gone to the military surplus store and I found like an old Vietnam era M16 manual, like how to
Okay.
disassemble it and all that. And I like was
Uh-huh.
reading through it one day in school, and I like left it on like my desk chair after class, and my teacher like called me back and was like, "Hey, you left this." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, they never like stopped me and were like, "Hey, so how are things at home?" They never did that.
They're like, it's normal shit.
Yeah, it's Louisiana. What are they gonna do?
I mean, they probably had seen plenty of stuff like that before. Honestly, not gonna
For
lie,
sure.
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't even know around here if that would be a thing. Colorado's like very, well, now it's very blue. Like the Democrats have total control of all, like the entire state legislature, the governorship, and everything. But like in this area, it's like if you look at the percentage vote for Trump, it's like 83, 85. Like you can't even be a Democrat here publicly, really. Like,
Yeah.
not if you're gonna do anything, run for office. But
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But
yeah,
I mean,
might be similar.
today you would definitely get flagged for it because like my wife's a teacher and
Yep.
she has to report kids even just for doing finger guns. So
Oh my God.
yeah, it would definitely would get flagged today. But as far as like how I got out of like that pipeline, about junior or senior year, I started getting tired of like the I don't want to say bureaucracy, but like basically my instructors were not like delivering on some promises they had made as far as like advancing and like doing different types of trainings with ROTC, and also they were like telling me I wasn't going to qualify for scholarships. I was a bad like student,
It
so
was an Anakin moment. You're like, they're holding me back. They
Yeah.
won't put me on the council.
exactly. But also, I was learning more about Iraq
Mm.
and the invasion, so that was like starting to break
And how
my
were you
brain.
learning about Iraq? Like Iraq, what was your method of like finding
Started
information about it?
with my world geography teacher. This was when I was like in my r/atheist phase, but it was also just like, ugh, I hate the church. Ugh, fucking, ugh. Like I hate going to catechism because that was like what I did. My parents made me go to catechism every week,
Okay.
and also I had a lot of gay friends, and
Yep. I mean,
my world geography teacher went over like the Abrahamic religions and like their origins, like regionally,
yeah.
and learning that that all the Abrahamic religions were the same like origins broke my brain.
Yep.
So then I started diving into like monotheistic, polytheistic origins and like learning about like the Council of Nicaea, and that branched into like liberation theology. I learned about like Marx and stuff, and it was just
Bing
a
bang
very
boom.
very rapid descent into leftism. But it was when I graduated high school. I was 18, and I like drifted around jobs for a little bit, and I always recognized without having the like words to articulate it what like exploitation was. And then I got a job. I was 19 as a mental health technician at a psychiatric hospital, and that broke my brain.
Mental health technician. What a name.
Yeah,
What a
which is a
title.
fancy word for orderly.
Dang, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I'm assuming the standards there for mental health care, like as in regards to from state to state, are probably about the same as the standards there for other things in
I
comparison.
mean, the first one that I worked at was a private hospital, so the standards were very low. This was what they call a takedown facility, which means like if someone's getting violent, then you could physically like tackle and restrain them. Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Did you?
so-
Yeah. So
Yeah, of
did-
course,
like,
of course we did.
Dang, man, that's
Yep.
so crazy. So I could see how it break your brain, probably, and like actually leave you with trauma in the long term.
I mean, I had to go on like medication and go to therapy afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah, damn. Well, luckily, yeah, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Now you're doing this.
I mean, I still need therapy, but you know, every couple months I'll like go to a couple sessions and like try and
Yeah.
work through what I'm going through at the time.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Well, I mean, I was in the hate the church phase too. I don't know if I ever was right wing necessarily at all. I definitely had reactionary opinions about, various things that had been, foisted upon me. But like, for me, it was like very extreme indoctrination. So it was the point where like I did take a comparative religions class. I was sort of in the process of deconstructing already, but like, or deconverting. But I had a similar thing with like, there was this point where we got to Christianity and everyone in the class kind of like thought they knew shit. And then we all realized suddenly that even though we were all Christians or raised Christians, like our ideologies differed wildly, like, and on really basic shit. And there was also, of course, the fact that, you know, Abrahamic religions share the same origin, and also that like, you know, various things from Christianity can be traced back to like religions that are objectively way older,
Right.
like Zoroastrianism, for example.
Yeah.
Like
There's
the Holy
a
Trinity.
content creator on TikTok, and his whole thing is like comparing stories and characters from both monotheistic and polytheistic religions and how they are one to one with each other. Like how he has this working theory that the Norse god Loki is actually, through like the telling of stories, the same like god of the Christian faith. They're like
Yeah.
the exact same person.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I've heard that kind of thing too quite often. I don't know if you know about, or if you just mentioned it and I didn't hear it, because that could be possible. The Gnostic Gospels. There's like, you know, there's a lot of theories about, you know, for example, I think it's the Book of Judas maybe or something like that. But you know, there's a theory that like the god of Earth, or like the god that sort of they were like worshiping or they were afraid of or that they were dealing with in the Old Testament, wasn't really like a good god. Like he wanted them to suffer and shit. And Jesus wasn't his son. Jesus was sent by like a different god, basically to save humanity from their creator, I think, who was a malevolent god. So like, and I think that's part of the Gnostic Gospels, but yeah.
But are you telling me he is not an awesome god? He reigns?
From heaven and earth with wisdom,
Yeah.
power, and love?
Yeah, that one. Are they not the same?
I mean, that's not what they said in that one book
Oh,
that we can't find, so.
okay. Interesting.
So yeah, I guess speaking of ancient, I don't know. This is more, I guess, I don't know. Would tarot be considered a cult?
I mean, it depends who you ask. I think it is more mysticism.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the distinction. I'm a fan of distinctions.
I like mysticism. I like you know, spiritualist stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not like a pagan, but I have a Yule altar that we put up every year where we have like a. Actually, let me grab it real quick.
Yule altar coming in.
Yeah, tarot is like a cult.
Yeah. You can come talk if you want. But yeah, we're about to do the tarot. It is a cult though? He was saying he thinks it's more like mysticism.
Well, it's like
So
a cult.
this is not the altar, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
this is my Yule goat that I put
Yule
on the
goat.
altar. Yeah. It's very
Yule
cute.
goat. Awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Name is Jerry.
What does it do? What does it do?
Well,
It
goat.
just sits there.
Yeah, he's the. I think they call it what would be the equivalent of like a guardian or an overseer of your altar.
Okay.
There's another word for it, but I think emissary.
I mean,
what
this
they
is
call
my
it.
spirit guardian, Chip.
Hell yeah.
He has a brother named Dale. And
Dale.
and he looks almost exactly the same, except his nose is different.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Well, goats, I believe in most of the Germanic mythos are symbolic of like rebirth, fertility, harvest, stuff like that. So Yule is mostly like, you know, since it's the winter solstice, it's like a turning over of the seasons, which is why Yule goats are so popular.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I don't know if it's like within mysticism or symbolism. And you know, my buddy Zach, who's here, who was playing beats and stuff, aka Z Will. If you check out the VOD or you check out the stream in the next 24 hours, you're sure to see plenty of both of our beats, drumming, freestyling, etc. But he's super interested in this kind of stuff and always talks about it. One of the things he always points out is like the you know, like how much symbolism plays a role between like, you know, the various aspects. Like if you're talking about a goat, then you could bring up stuff about goats. I don't know about goats other than greatest of all time.
Capricorn.
True. All I
and
know
it,
is LeBron.
and it represents Capricorn. Why? Because that's why.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Capricorns are goats.
What's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Virgo.
Ah,
I don't know my big three. I had J. Marianne run me through them, and I still don't know what any of it means or what they were. I
ah.
think I'm a Sun Virgo. I don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Virgo
know about
sign.
Virgos is the line from Adam Sandler's Waterboy where he says, "I'm a Voigo. I don't like confrontations," and that's definitely me.
You don't like confrontations.
No, I don't.
That's an interesting side trail. Real quick, it's just like I remember there was a time when like you were teaming up with other streamers and there was like a debate thing happening, and that hasn't happened for a minute. I feel like I don't even know if that whole thing has sort of died down a little bit. What's your take on that in terms of the space, like Twitch poll?
Twitch poll is by and large kind of dead. There are people that are still trying to like keep it alive. Most of those people lost all of their viewership whenever Destiny got banned because they don't have their own fan bases. They just have like the orbit of Destiny when he's like not
Yeah.
online, or like they're basically live streams for LSF that they can go watch and like gossip about stuff. So they have like
Right.
no original content. They have no original thoughts. It's just their holdouts until their main streamer goes live. Oh, hey Mari, what's up?
And who can be the most technically correct in an argument?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
for a period of time,
or not correct.
yeah, it's mostly who can like rhetorically dominate their opponent the most and get them flustered.
Right.
For a period of time, if you wanted to break into like the politics scene on Twitch, you kind of had to do the debate panels because that was the only way to get discoverability.
Right.
And after all of that kind of dissipated, most of the people who are genuinely interested in politics found like the remaining like leftist space, and everyone else kind of just fucked off to YouTube, where their other two favorite politics streamers still are.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that actually does make a lot of sense just because of the way that I mean, chat has changed and like the dynamics of chat and like the people who you see around and the ways that the chat even behaves when you like whether it's you or other streamers who talk about politics or issues like that. There's not really as much antagonism, and there's significantly less, in my experience, harassment. But I don't know if that's like changes to. I don't know.
I think
what
it
that
depends
is.
on who you like, what kind of space you're in,
Yeah.
and also like
I guess when you're first starting, you get a lot more of it too, like because they just kind of target you.
like the last month and a half covering Palestine, I've gotten more shitters in chat than I have in like a year.
Well,
Because yeah, just because of the subject matter, and that'll change as we go on. You know, there's going to be some other like geopolitical thing, like the elections are coming up. Like there will be people who have shit takes on electoralism, and that'll be people who come in. I think it's mostly just setting the tone, and that's to anyone who like wants to start streaming. I always tell them, like, one, like get known in a community, like be a frequent chatter that like when people see you, they're like, oh hey, it's this person, we know them.
Yeah.
Get known in a couple communities, maybe a VIP badge or something. And also, so whenever you do go live, there's people who will like want to go support
Get you
and
started. Yeah.
and streamers will want to raid
Streaming
you.
to 0 or 1 is not.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It sucks for you. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a waste of your time.
I mean, that's what I had no audience at all whenever I started. It was
Yeah,
like my
same.
brother-in-law would leave my stream on his computer when he would like come home from work,
Yeah.
and I would turn on Becca's computer to my stream, and it would show like 3 viewers always, like my own like viewing of my stream, my wife's and my brother-in-law's. And I always told myself, like, the day I don't have to turn on Becca's computer, I know there's momentum. And I remember the day
Right.
it happened when I didn't have to turn hers on.
I found your stream through LexiBat.
Yeah.
I don't know how I found his stream even, but yeah, he rated it into you and said you were a good bean, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So
Lex is the OG.
yeah, so that's how I ended up finding it, and I think it was like 20, 30 viewers or something like that at the time, and look where you are now.
Look where we are now.
So as far as where we are now, top of the hour ad break. No, just kidding.
Almost.
I need to learn how to do those. I don't ever pay attention to that kind of stuff. I've been kind of like treating it sort of as a casual hobby, which it has been. I guess in that realm, like, I don't know if we need to wait to start your reading, or at least we could, if you're going to do
We
an
can
ad
do it
break.
now.
I guess the first thing is going to be like, do you have a question? Is there something on your mind? Questions are usually a good way to go about it. It doesn't have to be super specific, but is there something that you're...
What's your go-to Taco Bell order?
Okay. I don't know if the cards will answer it, but we could try.
Okay. Oh, you meant for the cards. I just meant...
Yes. It says Doritos Locos Tacos, obviously.
Basic.
No, that's always a side thing. Like, you got grab that on the side if you want it type deal. Fucking just kind of like how you get... Do you get the cinnamon sticks?
No, not usually. I'm not a sweets person.
I love cinnamon and sugar. That shit is fucking fire.
Now, if they start getting churros at Taco Bell, like they have in the goddamn UK, then...
The UK has churros? At
The
Taco
UK
Bell?
has churros at Taco Bell.
Something seems off about that. Who do we call? I'm sure we know somebody. Somebody knows somebody in chat.
Yeah.
Let's change this.
There's always somebody who's gonna have connections.
These are the important issues that we worry about. And that we pull the strings.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do like the nacho fries are pretty good too.
Nacho fries slap, for sure.
I honestly have like really started to not like that one kind of Mountain Dew that they have. Like actually a long time ago. Yeah, Baja Blast.
Yeah, that's fucked up of you to say. I love Baja.
It like I don't think I like it anymore, and like I also got hard Mountain Dew. Have you seen that lately?
I have. I have a negative
disgusting.
experience with alcohol and Mountain Dew.
Oh no.
Yeah. I make some Bacardi with like it was some like specialty limited edition.
Of course it's Bacardi. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what my friend at their house had. They had like an unopened thing of like purple Mountain Dew with some like weird flavor. And Bacardi, I was like, that might work. You know, like there's a little tequila and it's like some fruity soda, whatever. That might work. I never puke whenever I drink. And with that, I immediately got sick. And had to go home.
Damn. I drank Bacardi 151 for the first time that I ever like drank a lot, I think. And my dad was there and he was letting me do it. Like he like watched me make myself mix drinks, and like he was like sort of supervising, but also kind of being like, you're gonna learn, like you're gonna learn. And I fucking learned that I never wanted to drink rum again.
See, I'm not a rum person.
It was horrible.
Much either. Kind of in the same way. My first ever like getting hammered experience was not with Bacardi, but with oh god, what is it? It's the white bottle.
Malibu?
Yes, Malibu. It was Malibu coconut rum.
I don't even know how I know that. Like, I don't
like
I don't drink really.
I was hanging out at my cousin's house, and he had like a bunch of his friends over. They were all playing like League of Legends and Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. And my cousin's like, "Hey, let me go take a shower, and we're gonna come out and we're gonna get drunk. There's the Bacardi in the freezer. You know, make yourself a shot, get comfortable, and I'll be right back." 15 minutes, he was in the shower, max 20 minutes, and I had finished the entire fifth. I drank the whole thing.
Oh, no.
I just like had no control, and was hammered. Tried to stab him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was hammered.
I don't know why that question is important to me, but like, did you have like a fixed blade knife with you, or did you just find a random sharp object?
I just had like a pocket
knife. Okay.
I whipped it out on him, and he judo flipped me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Learned more than one lesson that day.
Yep.
Damn. So, did you ever try and stab anyone else from drinking?
No comment. No comment.
Okay. We actually discussed this earlier on stream, if you could believe, stabbing. It's a thing. Have you ever gotten a tarot reading?
No one's ever done a tarot reading for me. I was talking to Shira at TwitchCon about doing a tarot reading, My wife has tarot cards, and I've done a tarot reading for myself on stream before, but I've
Interesting.
never had someone read one for me.
Do you remember any of those cards when you did tarot reading before? Do you remember
No,
like
no.
outcome, like anything about it? Anything
Not
struck your memory?
really.
Okay. Did you ask a question? Like, did you, or were you just kind of like pulling cards?
I think it was a 3-card reading, and it was a general like, I think it was like a vibe reading. I don't really remember what it was. It's in my VOD somewhere. I'm sure somebody clipped it.
Interesting.
This
And
was several months ago.
Was that with Becca's cards that you're talking
Yes.
about?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess like if there's something that you have been wondering about or would like general guidance on, if you would like to look at sort of like past, present, future sort of situation, we could do a reading along those lines. 3 cards. Yeah, I don't know. Does anything come to mind? Because I can give you different prompts as well. Like I could come up with some other scenarios for how to lay out cards.
Why don't you give me some prompts? I don't really have anything on my mind exactly.
So there is the past, present, future. That's kind of like a general one.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me pull up this one. So we have past, present, future. 3 cards can also be situation, action, outcome. So it could be a reading about how you can affect a particular situation. There's also 3 options to help you think about 3 choices that you're thinking about making. Maybe one of them is something that you're not even necessarily like thinking
Okay.
of at the moment. There's also sort of in a spiritual sense, like mind, body, spirit, assessment of those things. Dream interpretation is an interesting 3-card read. Self-assessment and advice.
Ooh, let's do dream interpretation.
Okay. You like to do a dream interpretation. A 3-card reading. So I have been sort of, fiddling with the cards the whole time.
Okay.
But I'm going to just, I'm gonna shuffle them one more time. Maybe move them around a little bit.
Do I like announce what the dream is, or?
Yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit about the dream, and as I'm preparing here, just
Okay.
sort of like, tell us about it, and then as we move forward, like just sort of intentionally, put the energy out there, like think about the dream and the various elements of it, the aspects of
Okay.
it, what it
Okay.
might mean.
So I have a reoccurring dream of when driving over like a bridge, bottom of the bridge as I'm like at the apex, just drops out in front of me, and I drive like right off the edge of it, right? And like the details after which are always like, it's a dream, so it's like fractal, but it's always like crash, stuck on like a cable or something like that. It's always like different, a little bit, go into the water or whatever. But it's always like the front or like the piece of the bridge right in front of me just drops.
Okay. And that's it. I mean, that's the reoccurring part, but then the end of it could sort of, I mean, and
Yeah,
dreams
either
do,
like I
sort of
wake
meld
up
into
because
other
it
ones,
startles me, or yeah, there's some like other details.
How long have you been having this dream?
Oh God, long as I can recall, probably like since my teenage years.
And it's just like at random
Yeah.
amounts of time. Like, does it sometimes happen like repeatedly?
Sometimes it'll be like during a week I'll have it like multiple times, but for the most part it's kind of like sporadic.
Okay. I'm just gonna cut the deck a couple
Okay.
times, and I just need to tell me when you feel like I should stop.
Okay. Right there.
Okay. We're gonna pull your first card,
Okay.
which is the 3 of Wands,
Ooh.
and I have a little book, but I like to be able to type in here as well to look at these. The Three of Wands. So this is supposed to represent the origin of the dream.
Okay.
What feelings did this dream stem from? What was the underlying emotion behind it? This could be a reversed card because of the way I first looked at it, but I like to read it upright first anyways to begin with. So Three of Wands, looking ahead, expansion, and rapid growth. You said this has been occurring since you were in high school?
Yeah.
So that's worth considering. If it's a reoccurring dream, it could also be something that's like triggered by that sort of what I said, the looking ahead or expansion or rapid growth. Maybe if it's occurring at more regularly at times when you're experiencing those sorts of things. This says represents the transformation of dreams, which is interesting. That's the actual just card definition. Represents the transformation of dreams into concrete plans and preparation for action. As you look forward to possible obstacles in your path, you remain dedicated to your pursuit and ready to traverse your boundaries. So just another thing in terms of like symbolism or whatever, numerology, 3s represent growth, creativity, and expression. Looks like we just got a raid from Argonian Bum with 15. We got the new raid alert as well. What the fuck is up, Denny's? Thank you for the raid, Argonian Bum. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. And we are currently doing a tarot reading with our esteemed guest, Gremloe. The first time that someone else has done a reading for you, is that right?
Yes, someone's done a reading for me, yes.
We're reading so far to just sort of recap. We're learning what the origins potentially of this dream, this recurring dream that you're driving on a bridge, and then the bridge drops down in front of you, and you fall off in the car.
Yes.
Is the car the same? I don't know if is that even a factor? Like,
It's never a truck. It's always like a sedan. And I don't own a sedan. I don't even own a car. I have no personal vehicle.
Feel free to chime in at any point, Zach, if you feel like you want to add something.
Water?
What's that? Is there water? Do you see water in
There's
there?
always water underneath it. Well,
There's always water.
my only associations for bridges are the Mississippi Bridge and the Sunshine Bridge in Louisiana. That's like the most common bridges that I know, and the ones I drive over the most. So it's always ones like that.
Okay.
So anytime you're dealing with water, you're dealing with emotions.
I think I can hear you now, Zeb. Which one are you on?
I don't know.
You have to get right up on it if you're wearing the mask. Zach has a Guy Fawkes mask on now, I guess.
Ah.
I found it.
It was laying around the house. Sorry, what were you saying about? I think he was saying that anytime you're dealing with water, you're dealing with emotions. So, falling into the ocean, would that be the case with the bridges that you were talking about? I don't know. Are you going?
It would
over
be
rivers?
rivers. It would be the Mississippi River.
Mississippi Bridge. Okay. What were the two bridges again?
Sunshine and Mississippi is what they're called.
Okay.
So if you related the sun to, like the sunshine to the sun card in tarot, that would be a good sign.
So I picked the card. I was using this dream interpretation reading. So we pulled the first one. That was the Three of Wands, which
And that's all
represents
about
transformation.
That
of
would
dreams.
be straight up like that bridge, like you're going to a new place.
Yeah, except in the dream, the bridge collapses in front and he falls off.
So maybe the path that you're going on right now, you're not going the right way. Or, I don't know, have you been emotional about something lately? Or how long have you had this dream? Like, what's the time frame?
Oh,
I can't really hear them if they're talking.
hold on 1 second. You
Okay.
should be able to now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, what's up, man? So how long have you had this dream for?
Probably since I was a teenager.
Oh, shit, all right.
Yeah, and he said it occurs at like different frequencies and stuff like that.
Right.
But this is supposed to be the origin. So like the way I interpreted it is that it represents the transformation. Well, it's looking ahead or expansion or rapid growth. So occurring at a time when like, things are potentially either have been expanding rapidly or about to be, transformed into action.
Have you thought about
Endless,
like moving
expanded, extended.
I mean, I think
and
about
enlarged.
moving every day.
Do you? So that's interesting then. I'm just trying to think of why the bridge collapses, though. Maybe.
So there's 2 other cards we could pull. I don't know if we should go there.
I would.
Okay.
It's crazy that it's the 3 of Wands, though, because in my deck, it's all about crossing a river. Like
The 3 of Wands is.
Mm.
You can see actually in this card that he is standing at the edge of what appears to be a river.
And of
Yep.
water.
that card could also be taken as like you're waiting for your ship to come in, like type situation. But like,
Okay.
you can't wait for your ship to come in. You just kind of gotta go get it. But if you're thinking about moving, it's really interesting. And then you said you're driving a car that you don't own.
It's not recognizable.
Interesting. Maybe it's like you want to move, but like you're not equipped for it. Well, no, because if you had the dream since you were a kid, though, that's the interesting part.
It's been a lifelong desire to get out of Louisiana.
So I think that's definitely what your dream. So maybe it's you want to leave. That's your dream, but like the bridge keeps crumbling and you keep getting stuck there. You know. So it could be your subconscious just telling you that, you want to leave.
And then we get to the second card, which is the Tower.
Oh shit! Crumbling, fucking collapse of structures.
I'm not sure what it represents in this reading, but we're finding out. It says, the message, what is my dream trying to tell me?
Time to fucking rebuild, man.
Inevitable destruction and the breakdown, something in our lives which we consider foundational, reminiscent of the Tower of Babel, which was built upon far-reaching human ambition, creating artificial comfort in our lives. There's
Basically
always
all
an
about,
upside.
like, getting a shock to your system. Basically, everything kind of. I don't know. A lot of people relate it as a bad card, but I think it's like.
Does
if
it make a
something falls
difference if
down like
the
that,
card
you
is
can-
drawn
you can
upside
fix
down?
the foundation, and build it better.
Does it make it a difference if the card is drawn upside down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can. It can, as a reversal, it can be drawn upside down. Yeah, but I didn't pull it upside down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the way that I laid it out. So yeah, that would be within this. What the dream is trying to tell me, and yeah, I guess when I've gotten the Tower, like, or the way it's been interpreted before, like, and a lot of times when Zach's done readings for me or whatever, like, whatever position it's in is representing like a collapse, but it's a collapse of something that is like, I don't know, even if it is foundational, it's giving you the opportunity to sort of like piece by piece come to something new and maybe something better. I don't know. I guess that's where the good part of it is, maybe.
Well, it's like, I don't know. How's your sort of like home life, family life down in Louisiana? Is it?
I mean, it's good. The way I would put it is, I would love to move out of Louisiana, right? I'm in a very like privileged position as far as my like home ownership goes. We don't have like a mortgage or rent or anything. We basically just like remodeled a shack that was on the corner of my wife's dad's property.
That could definitely be what the Tower is signifying for sure. Because like it's going to be hard to leave like that behind.
Right.
So,
I have no like emotional. I mean, like, I love my family, but I don't have that emotional attachment where you don't want to move away from your family. My wife definitely does, because like she's always been around her family, and we're literally still on their property, right? She doesn't want to go anywhere.
So that's
without them.
definitely. I guarantee you that's what that is. Because like to her that's a big because.
Yeah.
The tower's getting struck by lightning, so a lot of people say it's like a shock to the system. Like, and so that would definitely be. And the 2 people are falling out of the tower, so like, both of you guys have to do that. So if she doesn't want to go, that's definitely going to be like a shock to her system for sure. That's interesting.
And for anyone who, if you've grown up in a place for a long period of time, like, I mean, Zach and I are in our hometown right now. So we can certainly relate to some extent of like.
I'm gonna be going over by Louisiana here pretty soon, though.
Yeah.
Trying to go down to Texas.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, so we have one more card
Okay.
in this reading, and this is the position that it's in according to. Well, we'll see. Oop. The card that is here is another major Arcana card.
So that's big.
So the first one, the Three of Wands, is part of the four suits, which are wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And then there's 21 cards in the major Arcana. So the last one you got was the card number 16, I believe. The Tower is 16 in the major Arcana. This card is the this would be the 14th card, Temperance. And this water theme is continuing here. You can see that she's pouring from one vase into another.
Getting the mixture right. That makes sense.
So this card is, in this reading, the position that it represents, let's see, Temperance. I actually flipped it reversed, but again, like even in that case, I like to look at the actual meaning first. How can I apply this dream's lessons to my waking life? So it's supposed to be, I guess, practical, but taking the middle road, finding a balance in life that allows you to attain a sense of calm. When it relates to the external world, it also means adapting, cooperation, and mediation.
Interesting.
So that's what that says. I'm curious to, I don't really see much else in the card that I could look at. I don't know if Zach has anything to add on that.
I always say it's like the card of it's the card of moderation. It's the card of like your angels talking to you. It could also be the card of having 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like,
I have been traveling more, so that could have something to do with it.
well, I think it's like getting the mixture right, because every time you try to go across that bridge, the bridge collapses. So it's like you're not quite yet ready. So once you get that mixture right and balance, it's like balancing both worlds, So like you could be like cups are all about emotion. So it could be you and your wife's getting like both sides to get nice and balanced. You said you didn't say Libra, did you? You said Virgo.
Virgo, yeah.
Virgo.
Okay. So that's interesting. Did you pick a number between 1 through 21? Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, pick one real quick. Just
I always pick 13.
13. So that's the death card, which would be just like a change, like a transformation. Or it could be like a spiritual death is like, the old me's gone, the new me's, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so
I was
that's
born on the
interesting.
13th. That's why I always pick it.
That's cool. Oh yeah. So like, and you should look into that too. Like, this kind of fucking trailing off, but like look up the number that you were born on and look up like the personality traits. It's fucking trippy. But
He was telling me that earlier today when I picked him up.
I just learned about it last night. It's pretty interesting. But I don't know. To me, it seems like you're trying to get out of that place. There's just some things that you got to take care of first, I think. But it definitely sounds and seems like.
It seems like that's what the dream is about, especially since it's recurring. And that's, I guess, what the seems. Yeah, I don't know. It seems
Definitely
you
like
got that right away.
transformations coming for sure.
Ooh. Big things are happening. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about that? Thoughts about that? I'll send you a picture of this layout.
We could clarify it too. If you wanted to.
What does that
if you
mean?
want-
So the way
Zach has his own cards.
myself and a lot of readers will do is they'll take 2 decks and then you'll pull one, and then to clarify it, you'll pull basically 3 more cards out of another deck.
Ooh, wait. Can I do it with my own tarot cards?
Fuck yeah, that would be the better way actually.
Okay, hang on. Let me go grab them. I had to move the Necronomicon to get to these.
Till they drop off.
Okay. So, let's see. 2 stacks in here. I don't know if that makes it different.
There's what?
They're like separated into 2 stacks. I don't know if there's a difference between the 2.
It's all part of the same deck, I'm guessing. Rotate 90.
Yeah, they're all the same. Okay. Just gonna cut the deck. Am I supposed to do this a certain way?
Now have whatever you feel, man.
Heart of the cards. Heart of the cards. Okay. So,
Oh shit.
do I just pull 3? Or just
Yep.
pull 1 at a time?
Yeah, just pull 3.
Okay. Should I do them like face down and then we'll go through them?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Do I go left or right?
I go from the left.
The left. Okay.
This is interesting because in here it says in my book, the Three of Wands is he's ready to move beyond familiar comforts of home to seek new ventures and experiences, looking for a new beginning or opportunity in your life.
Yeah.
That's
For sure I
cool.
am.
So that's
Always.
like all those cards.
Alright. The first thing I pulled was here. I'll hold it up to the camera. The Magician.
Oh, those are dope. So
Yeah.
that's manifesting basically. The
Okay.
magician can manifest basically whatever he wants. He know. So the whole major arcana is the fool's journey through life. So like that's what it. Each card is what the fool goes and has to get like through. If that makes any sense. So it's like
Okay.
I think that's just telling you that you can manifest. You can actually manifest the shit, and you obviously are good at manifesting because you got this channel. Anybody that creates knows something about manifesting, whether they know it or not. But because how many are you pretty big on Twitch or?
He's
I think that's a perspective thing. I don't think so, but I mean, I just
within
made
our
partner.
circle. He's like one of the main, like one of the largest. You know,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
creators,
to
yeah.
do that, like
He's-
I
yeah.
overheard you talking earlier how like you started with nothing, like
Mhm.
nobody, and so like that's manifesting in itself. You know. What I'm
True,
saying?
true.
So I think that's just clarifying that if you do want to travel and do that, you are capable of manifesting it.
Okay.
If it's reversed, it's like watch out for a trickster.
Ooh. Well, it came right side up, so
Yeah, you're good. Definitely,
Okay.
like just you can manifest it for sure.
right. Do I pull the second one now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one. Ooh, it's upside down. This is 5 of Swords.
So that's conflict, or no, that's
Ooh.
like a. Actually, that is that's pretty funny though. 'Cause
That's what it
let's
looks
say
like
You,
right side up.
let's say you move. It's like victory tinged with defeat. So like that could I feel like could be like where the wife comes in, you know, because it's like yeah, we're leaving, we're moving, but it's still kind of like a bittersweet
Bittersweet,
thing 'cause
yeah,
she's
yeah.
not very happy at the
Interesting.
time, you know.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, it would definitely be like, listen, moving ain't happening anytime soon. But yeah, there would definitely be a conflict because like it took a long time for her to get a permanent teaching position, and that's like her main thing is
Oh,
like
yeah.
to be recertified for wherever we go to teach. You know.
Yeah, that could be because that was with the tower, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
could definitely lead to fighting and make collapse of something.
For sure,
That's
for sure.
something to be careful about for sure.
All right. Last card. Ooh, another reverse. This is the 6 of Swords.
5 and 6.
That's interesting. So 6 of Swords is the shit. What's the 6 of Swords? I can't remember.
He doesn't. He only has mostly encyclopedic knowledge of the tarot.
So pursuing of a shit. Yeah, that's crazy. So through the snow, the crow. So my deck is like a crow deck. So this might not make sense, but the crow makes a trip over choppy waters in pursuit of a better life. Along the way, he's lost a few feathers, but it is a sacrifice he made for a chance to rebuild and start over, which is like all about the tower and all that shit. So,
Yeah. Funnily enough, our not a crow but a raven is our family crest.
oh no shit, that's
Yeah.
sick as hell. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I got a weird thing with crows and ravens, but so it says right here though, denotes a time that will require you to cut your losses and begin anew. This decision will not come easily, therefore will not come easily. There may be feelings of regret along the way. However, once the journey is complete, you'll be able to recognize the result was worth the sacrifice. Focusing on new opportunity instead of the loss will help ease your transition. So that's you said it was
Interesting.
reversed though, huh?
It was reversed.
It was reversed. So it's dude, that's crazy. It says you're reluctant and unprepared to commit to change, so that's why the bridge would keep breaking.
Mm-hmm.
And you may also be holding on to habits in the past that will not let you fully move on.
Ooh. Interesting.
That's very interesting. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, Yeah. Tarots are my thing with like the mysticism stuff, or what I would refer as to mysticism is like tarots, psychics, palm readers, astrology, whatever it is. Um, a lot of it is, this is just my opinion. I think it's fun to do. A lot of it is like filling in your own, like you're putting intentions
Oh
onto
yeah.
like what the outcomes are.
Well, like most of the time, you're just telling people what they already know, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
It's kind of like I
sometimes
always
it's nice
tell
to get
people.
reminded, you know.
Yeah, I always tell
But
people like when they're asking like for advice that you're not asking for advice, you're asking for permission,
pretty
right?
much, and like with being psychics, that's the thing that they don't like teach you is everybody's psychic. It's just whether or not you practice and build that muscle up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I can't do like crazy, like some exercises because I haven't worked that part of my shit out. You know, whatever it may be. But
Right.
so it's like I don't know. You can like we definitely have a sixth sense. Like you know when you walk in a room after two people have been fighting and you can feel that tension. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's like that sixth sort of psychic or whatever sense.
Yeah.
And then when
See,
you
I love
learn,
watching Ghost Adventures. I don't believe in like the paranormal, but I believe in
yeah,
vibes,
nah,
and that's
there's
definitely
definitely
a
energy.
thing.
And
Someone
like
said
I
this is a
don't know,
cool
there's you
card deck.
can once you learn how to really like feel like your emotions and like feel all the energy around you, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
in tune with your intuition. That's when you can tell like when you're just doing a reading and like you're just kind of reading cards, or when you're like tapped into something and it's like shit's crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool. But
Someone
tarot is
said these
definitely
are cool
it's
cards.
loosely
I'm gonna show
guided.
them.
It's like definitely loose guidance for sure.
Hey,
Some
that's
people
cool.
will take the tarot and they'll be like, treat it like it's like, you know, if you pull these cards, that's gonna happen. Like that's not really.
Yeah.
But like I've never been wrong on a reading so far, and that's kind of cool. But
It's true.
it's
That's from my
also
experience, but
I also say like a lot of people think tarot is like if you knock a cup off the table and break it, and then you cut your hand picking it up. Did you cut your hand because the cup broke, or did you cut your hand because of how you went about cleaning it up? You know what I mean?
Whoa.
And so tarot's saying like if you don't use a broom, you might cut yourself, type shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where I.
My mom recently bought me a
No.
card of tarot. They're beautiful. I'm practicing reading them. I actually have a. Let me see if I can find it. I think I should have the bookmark saved. It's
just the art
a.
aspect of it alone is
Well, it's
is
crazy
Cool.
how
Yeah.
like how much shit actually references the tarot. Like I can send you these books that I have.
Mhm.
It's fucking crazy. Like it's all the way down into like the Bible. Like it's a lot of shit references the tarot that you wouldn't even have thought of, because it used to just be those major cards back in the day, and like I don't know, it's pretty interesting. Like,
I think this is. Looking for.
even
There's
the
a.
Freemasons refer to it a lot.
There's a tarot card set. This person hasn't officially released them as a something you can buy yet, but they're all like it's the same cards, but they're all anti-capitalist
Oh shit, that's
themed.
cool.
Trying to see if I can find it in my bookmarks.
I want to find these dream. I thought about making my own tarot cards too, but I want to get these dream weaver tarot. They're sick as hell.
Yeah.
It's like $80 though, so that's not sick.
Money, money.
Should start selling these cases. Maybe. Kind of cool.
Zach is a maker of things.
Of all sorts of fucking.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I think that went pretty well as far as
Yeah.
the reading. I'm glad that Zach was able to join us. I feel like that's what was supposed to happen. It was almost like it was planned.
Something told me to come in here. So.
I mean, do you have any final thoughts or things that you'd like to discuss today, Gremloe? I mean, I would definitely like to say thank you for taking the time to be here.
No, thank you for the reading. That was really cool.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't think I have any questions. I'm very tired and hungry. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all I'm thinking about right now is just food.
Thanks for sticking it out. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
It's great.
I guess everybody, if you don't follow Gremloe already, I'd be surprised, but make sure that you go and do that. And thanks again, Gremloe. I'm sure we'll see you around.
definitely stand up for all your beliefs as well, and keep focused on your long-term goals, and don't stress out about shit too.
That's my thing. I always stress out, mostly about money, but
Yeah.
That's
I'm
exactly what-
learning. I'm learning
that's
every day
exactly what
to
goes
be
on.
more patient. You know.
Just keep doing what you love to do, and the money will come. You know.
That's right. That's right.
That's crazy. That's exactly what these cards just said. Too.
Yep. Hell yeah. I appreciate it though. Very therapeutic. Feel like I just
Awesome.
went to counseling.
There you go.
They used to call me the.
A counselor.
Yeah,
The
pretty much
counselor.
like the.
It's true.
What was it? The something street counselor, but I can't think of what it was.
That's cool. All right. Well, Levelhead, I'll send them your way. Enjoy the rest of your stream, and thank you for having me on.
Let's go. Thanks, Grandma.
All right. Peace out.
Appreciate it.
Like, I'm a zombie. Zombie shit. It's like climate sit. Like, climate stand to sit up, sit down, the timing is. So, because I know when I go flow.